What is going on, guys? This is Generalfil reporting, and welcome back to some Battlefield 4. Today we have some domination gameplay on both Golmud Railway and Road Transmission. And today's topic is the flaws of Battlefield 4, or flaws of Battlefield. Of course, there's a lot to talk about the bugs and the netcode and EA dice, all the things that has been discussed into hell, in my opinion. So I felt like I don't want to bring that up too much. Of course, the netcode is a little bit bad in some situation. I feel it's a lot better now than at launch, and there are some bugs still. But yeah, I don't want to go into that too much because I feel that we don't need to repeat that 20 million times. 20, is that a new word? 10 million times. But yeah, as you see, as the title, I want to talk about balance. Both weapons balance and vehicle balance. I feel that maps are balanced and everything else. So maps isn't one of the topics. Maybe I will come up with something. But the main topics is weapons and vehicles. So let's start out. The weapons in Battlefield 4, I feel, are both balanced and unbalanced. There's some very outstanding weapons that stands out from the rest, and that is in the bad way. It's underpowered, so to say. For example, some weapons from Battlefield 3 has been nerfed quite significantly. Okay, sorry for that word. And a good example is the G36C. It is a carbine. It wasn't used too much in Battlefield 3, I think. I didn't see people abuse it or use it every match, so to say. And I don't know, but they buffed it a little bit to Battlefield 4. The range drop off is lower, so it got a little bit more damage at the range, which is good. But they nerfed the rate of fire pretty significantly, pretty much actually. They lowered it from 750 RPM to 650 RPM, and that is a pretty big change to the damage output, in my opinion. I don't know why they did it. It's a really big change to damage output, actually. So I have no idea why they did it. It's just like, it just boggles my mind. It wasn't an overused weapon. It wasn't overpowered. It was actually a pretty good weapon in Battlefield 3, and in Battlefield 4, it's not good. For the other carbines, it's just better than them. So I have no idea why they did that. And it's like overall the weapons with slow fire rates feels quite bad. There's some weapons that doesn't apply to this. For example, the Scar H, as I'm using right now, on the assault rifle, it's really good actually. I think I really like it. I always like the Scar weaponry, especially in Battlefield 3, as the Scar H was my best weapon actually. I think I used it on the engineer all the time. So I like slow firing weapons because I like more power, slow power than fast non-power, so to say. I like it more, and you understand what I mean. But yeah, so the Scar H doesn't apply to this, but like all the weapons that shoot slow, I feel that they get pretty much outclassed by every weapon that shoot fast. For example, you can see it pretty much on every game you play, because every assault player, 99% of them play the Ace 23. Why do they do this? Because it has a pretty good fire rate. It has a pretty high fire rate. I think it's only rivaled by the FAMAS and AEK. I actually have no idea about that, but I know it has a pretty high fire rate, and it's good to control and such. So that is why a lot of people using it. It has a good fire rate and a good damage output, so a lot of people is using it. And that really shows there's a lot of assault rifles in this game, but a lot of people just use the Ace. And there are some people like me who like other things, like the Scar. I like good damage at a slow speed of fire to have control of the fire, so to say. But yeah, it just outclassed a lot of the assault rifles, and I feel like maybe I'll talk about it soon enough, but don't nerf guns if they feel overpowered. Just buff the others a little bit so it balances out. I feel that the ace isn't overpowered, I think it's overused. There is a good difference. And yeah, it's a pretty obvious that oh my god, just drop everything, start out. It feels like, yeah, the other assault rifles need to be buffed a little, not much, because I feel that assault rifles are really good in this game. So just a little to like even the things out. And I want to talk about the most obvious balance issue in the weapons category, which is the DMR, the designated marksman rifle. They got nerfed so much. I think that everyone knows about this already. If you haven't noticed it, yeah, I'm going to talk about it now. So basically, you'll see two comparisons now on the screen. It's the M39 EMR from Battlefield 3 and from Battlefield 4, and you will see the damage. The damage model is really different. It's really different, and I have actually no idea why they did this. The DMRs now take over 4 shots on a long range to kill someone, and that is pretty much ridiculous, because the assault rifles can kill on 4 as well on long range, and assault rifle is supposed to be on the shorter range, maybe let's say 0 to 200 meters. DMRs are supposed to be 200 to 400 meters, and let's say sniper rifles is 500 meters plus. For example, that is just an example, not that applies to Battlefield somehow, at least. But yeah, like the DMRs are pretty much useless. The assault rifles class them out in every category almost. It just takes so much bullets to kill someone with DMRs in this game. It's just bad. It's just flat out bad. And I really think they should change this. The DMRs, in my opinion, wasn't overpowered or unbalanced in Battlefield 3 at all. So I have no idea why they chose to nerf them so much in this game. So yeah, I have no idea actually why they did it. And just don't nerf guns, just buff others instead. I think that is a better way to go through it. Because, yeah, nerfing is sometimes too bad. Too bad. So let's go over to vehicles. The vehicles, in my opinion, is okay in balance. The land vehicles are actually pretty good. I think that boats, even though boats are really powerful, I think they are balanced. Tanks and, what's their name, LAVs are actually really balanced. They're actually really balanced in my opinion. I think that they make a good contribution to the battlefield and isn't too overpowered, which is good. Because the tanks in Battlefield 3 was a little bit overpowered there when you could like change between shotgun shells, canister shells, I mean, and the regular shells, which was that was a little bit unbalanced. But when they nerfed that, it became as it is right now. I think became. So I like them. But in the air, there's a difference. The little bird, in my opinion, is overpowered. I think everyone agrees to this to some degree, and yeah, I want to talk about that. The little birds now has such a great sustain, just because engineers can repair it, and it has such a damage output. It's absolutely ridiculous. Some people say, well, the sustain was there in Battlefield 3, the engineers could repair. Yeah, of course they could, and the little bird was actually quite balanced in Battlefield 3 in my opinion. The problem is in Battlefield 4 that this isn't the case, because the miniguns can be replaced by 25mm nuke cannons, as they are called. The damage output is so high, and when you get that sustain, it's really just why. I feel that somehow they need to balance this out, because the scout helicopter, it's supposed to be a scout helicopter. It's more of an attack helicopter now than it is a scout. And that brings me on to a little bit on the next topic, which is the attack heli. Because the attack heli is pretty much useless in this game because it nerfed so much from Battlefield 3. And now that the little bird is so powerful, the attack helicopter is even more useless. So I think they really need to check this thing out and just rebalance it, because the attack heli isn't supposed to be the worst and the weakest thing in the game. It's supposed to be the most powerful, the powerhouse that goes on the front line. The scout helicopter is supposed to be a little bit behind the lines, transport troops, support a little, not be the powerhouse, if you understand what I mean. So I feel they need to balance these things out. I have no clue how to balance it out. I think the attack heli needs to be buffed, but I have no idea if the little bird should be nerfed or it should be rebalanced some. I actually no idea how to do it. So kudos to DICE if they actually could balance it out, because I have no idea how they're going to do it. A thing, of course, would be taking away the 25mm guns, but that would destroy the little birds. Basically, I have actually no idea how to balance it, but they need to be balanced. That was I wanted to say about the helicopters. Hope you agree on that. I think a lot of people will agree on that. Will agree. What is that? Agree on that. And a little bit more, of course, the jets. The jets are okay. They are balanced, I think, but I think they need a little bit of a buff. Because right now I feel they're not. They're a little bit underpowered, because you see jets and like, oh, it's a jet. In Battlefield 3, you actually thought the jet was a threat. Yeah. So I feel the jet needs a little bit more of power, because right now, for comparison, how many jet horse, so to say, did you see in Battlefield 3? A lot of people did that, and you saw jets in a lot of games, just killing everything if they were good in jets. In Battlefield 4, I have experienced this maybe once, and I played a lot of games. So I don't know. It's good to have the feel back that the jet isn't like dominant over the battlefield, but at the same time, the jet was like a good contribution to the battlefield. So I don't know. It's one of these questions again, how to balance it. If they actually do it, the jet isn't like that important of an issue. I feel that the DMRs and the helis are more important, but I feel that it could be like reworked somehow. I also wanted to add a little bit about the launchers on the engineer. I feel that some of them are unbalanced at the moment, and I need to talk about them a little bit just. So if you laser designate a helicopter, for example, and then you shoot with a javelin, you think that it would one-shot the heli, but it doesn't. I have no idea why they did this, because when you laser designate, it's kind of teamwork to laser designate, and then a javelin player shoots the helicopter. But it doesn't one-shot anymore. It did in Battlefield 3. I think it was okay, because laser designator wasn't that unusual, that usual, so it wasn't like overused, but of course it could be. But yeah, there's no need to use the javelin right now, because the SRAW, the SRAW is so much better, because you can guide your own rockets and one-hit the heli without a laser designator. Of course you can designate and not one-shot it, but you can still do a lot of damage without having the teamwork with a laser designator. So I feel that they need to rework how the laser designation works, and the damage for the javelin, for example. And yeah, just that I wanted to add. So this was my opinions. I hope you take them in as a consideration as my opinions. Of course, your opinions is what matters. If you feel like, this was pretty annoying, I feel that this weapon isn't unbalanced at all, then write it down in the comments. I would gladly talk with you guys and feel a little bit of what the community feels. think though that a lot of people will agree on some parts of my video. But yeah, hope you liked the video. Comment as said if you want to talk a little bit, and like and such. And I hope you guys. I hope I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.